All right, so chromosomes. This is where we left off in part 1, just kind of as a little refresher. We're going to start with part 2. Okay, chromosomes.
Now.
Yes, that makes absolutely no sense because it was read the last time. All right, so chromosomes here. Are basically super condensed DNA.
Yeah.
And they're super condensed so that it's not a huge mess like all of these Christmas lights all tangled together. So, if any of you guys have ever had the job of storing or taking down all the Christmas lights or taking them out of storage, they can get tangled and can be such a mess. And just imagine if that was your genetic information instead of Christmas lights. So what the cell does is it wraps it and coils it up in a nice package, so that way it's nice and organized and super condensed.
And if none of you have ever had that experience, you're more than welcome to come over to my house and store them for me.
Oh, mine.
Yeah.
Mine too. I still have some. Okay, so this is showing you, if you take a look as we go through these next slides.
What is going on?
It doesn't like. There we go. Next slides, take a look at the size. Okay, so this is just a single strand, single DNA helix, okay, with about 2 nanometers. Okay, then it's going to start condensing. It's going to start wrapping up into around the histones. And as it's wrapping up, it's getting a little bit larger, 11 nanometers. And then all of the histones that the DNA started wrapping around, all of those histones, all those proteins, they start wrapping around each other. It's super coiling. Okay, and then that wraps around itself even more. And so you can see we're slowly getting larger and larger until we get all the way up to
crazy coiling, ultra coiling, and super omega coiling. Aren't actual terms, but wouldn't it be cool?
Okay, so this is just kind of showing you the progression from your helix.
It's not to scale, though.
Yeah, definitely not. Helix as it starts coiling around the histones, and then as the histones coil, and then those super coil, and then you end up with this nice big thing here. Pretty cool. Okay, so now number of chromosomes. The number of chromosomes an organism has is species specific. Wow, is specific to each species. That would have been easier to say for me, but it does not have to do with the complexity of the organism. For example, humans, we have 46, and there is a single cell amoeba with over 2,000. Okay, so do not think that just because something has more chromosomes, it's more complex. Okay, that's not the case.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Homologous pairs. All sexually reproducing organisms have homologous pairs of chromosomes. That's because one half of each pair comes from one of your parents. So, homologous chromosomes that are the same size, and they carry info or they carry genes for the same traits. One came from mom, the other came from dad. Homo, this is something that you guys should really get used to seeing, or you should learn. Homo means same, which you can relate it to whatever you like, but same is homo. Okay, hetero, oh wait, no, that's another class, sorry. Diploid number, okay, these are cells that have homologous pairs. We call them diploid cells. Yeah, and that's, whenever you see a 2N, that 2N means diploid, because you have homologous pairs, so you have 2 copies for each chromosome. Because you get 1 copy from mom, 1 copy from dad. All somatic cells or body cells, okay, there's vocab a little bit. All somatic cells have the diploid number. Okay, in humans, that is 46. So we have a total of 46 chromosomes, but only 23 pairs.
Because 46 divided by 2 is 23.
I know, there's only math in it.
I know, just point that out.
Okay, so haploid. You want to take over?
Yeah, cells that only have 1 member of each homologous pair are called haploid. It will be shown as just one giant N, capital N. These are the gametes or sex cells, okay? So the sperms and eggs or spores of plants. In humans, we have 23 haploid chromosomes, or chromosomes in our haploid cell, sorry. And 2 haploid gametes come together to form a diploid zygote, which is a fertilized egg, and that will develop into a baby.
Yeah, and nice.
That was Mr. Rodier's.
Let's get this party started, and how appropriate for what I was just going to say. The only cells in your body that are haploid are the eggs or the sperm. Moving on. Totally awkward.
I know.
So this is the percentage wheel of time that your cell spends in interphase and mitosis. It's just nice to know that even though we'll focus a lot more on mitosis side of cells, that
it's a very small fraction.
Yeah, it's a very small fraction of the overall life of the cell.
But it's a very important.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So important.
So the purple is the mitosis, if you didn't get my coloring. I thought I did a pretty good job.
But
because you can't see green on green.
Right.
Tried.
So what is mitosis? This is the actual division of the nucleus. It is going to produce diploid cells. Those diploid cells, diploid, remember, means you have 2 homologous chromosomes, or 2 copies of each chromosome. You have 2 identical cells that are produced. Those 2 identical cells are called daughter cells.
Because daughters are awesome.
Yes. Well, because they're... Yeah, anyway. This is what's producing the body cells, the somatic cells. 2 benefits. One is growth, one is repair. So when you scrape your knee, it's because of mitosis that you heal and you have new skin that replaces or repairs that damaged skin.
You're a lot more non-graphic than I would be. Like when your arm gets cut off.
Well, but you can't replace your arm.
But it will
Not
seal
yet.
up.
There is actually research going with that. But anyways, cool. All right, interphase, this, like we said before, this occurs before mitosis. G2 stage, this is synthesis of proteins. These are proteins that are needed for division. It's also going to check growth and, well, it can't. Oh, this is G2. Did I skip G1? Or are we just not?
No, I just didn't put them in there because we just needed to know about interphase a little bit.
That's true. Well, the G2,
interphase.
It's double checking the
that you're ready to
the
go.
proteins, the replication that's occurred in the S phase. All right, so these we're going to start going through the phases
of mitosis.
Anyway.
So the first phase is prophase, where DNA is packaged as chromosomes, so that's wrapping around histones and all of that. The nuclear membrane will disappear, and centrioles will appear and go to the poles of the cells, and spindle fibers form. So they will form on the edges of the cell.
Yeah, in that picture you were just drawing, and that's, you can see the DNA is condensing. That's
about to disappear.
Yeah, you can see it kind of breaking apart a little bit, and then condense.
I wasn't marking on these bottom right or bottom left because I figured it was pretty obvious that those are your centrioles and these are your chromosomes.
Alright, so now we have metaphase. Metaphase is when you have this nice lineup in the middle of chromosomes. Spindle fibers are going to attach into the centromeres of the chromosomes. Remember, centromere is what's holding the, it's like the center, what was it that you said at the beginning of part 1?
Oh, it's like the knot.
The knot that holds those 2 parts together, the middle part of the X. Anyway, spindle fibers attach to the centromere. The nucleus is not present, and there's 1 centriole at the end.
My teacher in high school, when I took biology, told me to remember metaphase is like marching, M for metaphase, M for marching, because all of the chromosomes line up like they're ready to march.
I always remembered it by M, metaphase, and middle, because they're lined up in the middle there. So those are both good ways. Jaren, did you have any others?
No one told
Don't
me.
forget.
I didn't like him.
All right, anaphase. Anaphase, this is when chromosomes or the sister chromatids, or the chromosomes are being pulled apart. So anaphase starts with A and apart starts with A. That's how I always remember them.
All right. Centromeres will divide, so that's the knot that held them together is departing. The chromatids...
Breaking.
Yeah, sure. And then so the chromatids are pulled apart to the separate sides of the cell. Spindle fibers are shortened, and that's what's actually doing the pulling. The nucleus is not present, of course, because then it couldn't move. And one centriole on each side, and this you'll see if you ever see a picture of anaphase, it'll usually have a V shape to the chromatids because it's like they're being pulled to that side. So they actually make that shape if you look at the bottom right green cell. Those are all real representations of the cell, or real pictures, sorry, not just representations.
And by the way, you can see these darkened spots here. Those are your centrioles, and these fibery things, or these lines are your fibers. These fibers here are pulling, like Mr. O'Dear said, pulling those chromosomes apart. It's a little bit hard. You can't really see the V shape in this picture, but hopefully you can see they're very clearly being pulled apart.
At least if you can't see the V, you can tell that there's two lines and not just a middle line, so it's obviously after metaphase comes anaphase.
Telophase.
Sorry, then you have telophase. Chromosomes are at either end. Nuclear membrane starts to reform. Spindle fibers disappear. The centrioles split so each cell will have a pair, and DNA is unpackaged and it's back to chromatin.
Anything else? Here, one thing here, you see you've got this cleavage furrow that's like pinching. So if you've ever had like a bunch of Play-Doh and you like pinch it in half, that's what the cleavage furrow is, that part there.
Our teacher always told us this one. Remember, telophase, it starts to look like a T through here.
Nice. All right, so cytokinesis, this is cytoplasm dividing after mitosis.
Sorry.
Sorry.
In cytokinesis, the cytoplasm divides after mitosis. In animals, the cleavage furrow does form. That's how they split into two different parts. The edges go in, and that's how it becomes two different cells.
Are we talking?
Plants?
Yeah, are we talking all about plants? Because plants do not have a cleavage furrow.
No, they have the wall that forms, the sheet that goes down.
Yeah, it just kind of it forms from the inside and goes from edge to edge.
Don't worry, guys. You do not need to know the difference between animal and plant
Not test it, but it's
for
something
the
nice.
test. Yeah, I guess it's
Something they
nice to
should know.
Yeah.
All right, mitosis animation. Are we going to try?
I don't think we can click on it.
I don't think we can either.
But we can link these on our website and you can
Yes.
see them.
Yes. So here it is from the beginning to the end. This is mitosis. So before it will be interphase, and then you go to prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and then after that is cytokinesis.
Yeah, so telophase or telophase, this is the last part here. And you're going to get two new
Daughter cells.
daughter cells.
Second-
This is more of a realistic view of what you'll see in pictures on like worksheets or homework or quizzes or tests and things.
It's
Because
scary. Sorry.
on tests and worksheets we can't draw beautiful, wonderful circles like in notes. So.
And do you guys have any anagrams to remember the way? Because
Peanut.
we always said, Pat's mom ate tomatoes.
Wouldn't it have to be like if met
Well, the
No.
if mets?
mitosis.
I know. But it's just I get you.
P-N-A-T, because that's mitosis,
okay.
not the whole cell cycle.
What was the weird animal?
We're done.
Some of this stuff.